Well, here we are. Good evening. Well, maybe a few people are already here. I don't know, honestly. I don't know how to see that or not. Maybe I can do it this way. So, good evening. Class is going to start in a couple of minutes. Maybe useful to start with having a look at your setup. It's kind of funny because I can't see anything. I'm just here in my room with all my stuff. And maybe there's 20 people or 2 people or 50 people here. I have no clue. And yeah, so the idea for this class is that since you're home, you probably don't have as many props as you might have at the yoga studio. So what I recommend is that you, if you don't have it already, that you take as many blankets, throws, pillows. If you have a block, 2 blocks, sure, go ahead, it's fine. But just have those because we're going to need as much support, as much comfort as you can find. So the idea of all these props is that in the class, in any restorative class, we're going to be in postures for a while. So each posture, we might be there for 10, 15 minutes or so. It's also good to have maybe a pair of socks, a sweater, a jacket, or something, because it's not as warm as it was in the last 2 days. So just be sure that you have enough stuff. The more props you have, the more comfortable you are, the better off we're going to be. Every one of us. So that's to start with. So maybe some of you have already been in a restorative class. Maybe some of you haven't. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start with a little movement, not too much. It's going to be really relaxed, not a lot of movement, but it's good to start getting the body just a little more active. So I invite you to come and stand. You might stand on your mat and stand so that your feet are parallel. So your feet are not open like that, they're not closed like that, they're parallel. And your feet, your legs are about hips width apart. It's kind of difficult with the lighting here, but I did the best I could. So when you're standing here, just take a moment to, as literally as I can say it, to really feel your body. Like literally feel this body standing here. And take a moment to notice the weight of your body, which is basically this whole weight, whatever your weight is being supported by this really small surface, the soles of your both your feet. So just feel that. See, okay, how can I distribute the weight of my body over this whole space so that the weight is not mostly on the front of the foot, also not mostly on the back of the foot, but as wide as possible. Maybe just letting go of tension in your knees. The legs can be just about straight, but just the back of the knee can just relax a little bit. Just sufficiently so that you can relax your kneecaps. and feeling your breath. Maybe you're sensing the movement here in your belly, in your chest. Feeling the weight of your arms. If anybody's looking for my head, it's still there, but it's just above the screen. Feeling the weight of your arms. Just allowing those arms to hang as loose as can be. Feeling some movement with each in-breath, each out-breath, feeling your shoulders, your shoulder blades, your chest expanding, relaxing, rising, falling. Having the weight of your body deeply rooted below the soles of the feet. And then gently bringing some movement. It's a very gentle movement. You start shaking your hands, shaking from the wrists. So it's a really relaxed sort of movement. There's no tension in that movement. It's, you know what it might feel like is as if you had some water droplets on your fingers and you were just trying to get rid of that water by gently shaking your hands. Now, when I say gently, I mean the opposite of forcefully. Just arms relaxed, elbows relaxed, armpits, oxals relaxed, shoulders relaxed, but also toes, heels relaxed, knees relaxed. Just notice how much unconscious, automatic tension the body is carrying, which it doesn't really need to. We're just gently shaking. And also, see if you can relax the pelvis, like the hips, lower back, the buttocks, the groins, the front of the pelvis. And you'll notice that just by this gentle movement in the arms, the upper body is moving as well. And the pelvis is gently moving as well. The legs are moving. And we're just simply shaking. And then I'm going to start having that shaking with my arms raised up. Now, probably you can't see that on the screen, but my arms are raised toward the ceiling, but they're really relaxed. You know, the elbows are relaxed, the shoulders are relaxed, the wrists, the fingers are relaxed. And I'm just shaking my hands up towards the ceiling as if I was trying to send those drops of water towards the ceiling. Relaxed pelvis, knees, feet, toes. Not forgetting to breathe. Quite healthy. And then dropping the arms. So take a moment to feel this, to reconnect with the body centered here on the mat. Notice maybe any difference from a few minutes ago. How did the arms feel? The wrists, maybe a sense of streaming of energy, maybe some tiredness in the shoulders. How does the body feel? Maybe the breathing is a little deeper, a little faster than it was before. Maybe the heart's rate is somewhat raised. Bringing your weight onto your right foot and gently shaking your left leg out. Gentle shaking. loosening in the foot, the lower leg, the knee, right leg, just gently shaking. So, coming to sit for just a few moments. I have this meditation cushion here, so I can sit on that. That's easy. But finding something that helps you so that your hips are higher than your knees. So you can sit cross-legged if you want to. You can sit on your knees if you want to. It's all good. And noticing the weight of the body resting. Resting, feeling your feet, your shin bones, your knees, feeling the weight of your upper body resting through your pelvis onto this cushion, this pillow, bolster, stack of blankets. So what we're going for, what we're going for in this class and in fact, in any form of yoga, in this class maybe more specifically, what we're going for is a really subtle, detailed awareness of your body. And the way we're going to do that here is we're going to take a number of poses, probably 4 poses today, this evening. And in each of these poses, I'm going to invite you to bring your awareness to your body and to notice any part of the body, any place in the body where there's tension, there's tightness. Why do we have all these blankets and pillows and everything? Is so that anywhere that you're aware of tension, you can place something underneath, like underneath a shoulder, underneath your neck, underneath an elbow, or a knee, underneath a wrist or an ankle, so that the body can start feeling supported. And that's the fundamental intention in restorative yoga. We're not going for a stretch. We're not going for breaking our own barriers and going further. We're going for staying well below our limits. And just taking care of this body. It's a sort of a kind practice. Being kind with yourself. The opposite of pushing yourself. Sorry, I'm moving my iPad. So for the first pose, find whatever you can of your props you're going to need. I'm going to show it this way. You're going to find it for yourself. I have 2 rectangular cushions here. I'm going to place one. That's going to be where my head is going to be. That's going to be where my feet are going to be. Feet, head. You're going to place one of these pillows. If it's not a pillow, maybe you have a few towels or a few blankets, which you can put one on top of the other. You're going to place it about where your shoulders are going to be when you lie down. You're going to take another blanket or maybe a really soft pillow to have at the top of the mat, so that's where your head is going to rest. And you're going to have another pillow, stack of blankets, bolster placed here. That's where your knees are going to be. And extremely important in this pose and in all the poses, this blanket, or any blanket, is going to be really important. You're going to need one blanket, which you're going to open all the way, because that's the blanket that you're going to use as a blanket. In each pose, the final part of the pose before we sink into it is to drape a blanket over your whole body. So I'm starting by coming to sit, placing my knees over this pillow here. And just lying down is also part of the practice. So I'm using my hands, my arms, my elbows to come down so that I'm not using any more tension than I absolutely have to. And so now I can feel, okay, where do I need this? I want this to be just a little lower so that my shoulder blades are resting on that pillow or that stack of blankets. But my shoulders, my neck are free. My feet are there. I'm going to drape this blanket like all the way over me. And then you can come down. So this is why I have a pillow here at the back, because I know my body. I know that my body needs some support here for my head. Otherwise, my neck is going to be way too tense. So now we're lying here. My feet are resting on the mat. And so if you notice that your feet are not resting on the mat, maybe because whatever you've put below your knees is a little high, if you have another pillow or another couple of blankets, you can place them under your feet so that they're supported. You don't need to have your feet hanging in the air. It's really good to have the feet and the ankles supported. What am I doing here? A number of options. I can open my arms, have my arms rest on the floor. I have this pillow or this stack of blankets beneath my shoulder blades. And I have some support for my head. Why? Because if I don't have any support for my head, there's going to be a lot of tension in my neck and in my throat. And that tension is going to move towards my abdominals and my lower back. And there's absolutely no way I can relax in that posture. So I need, and I invite you to have enough support for your head so that your neck, your throat, your shoulders can be relaxed. Why do I have a blanket draped over my body? Because I feel that it makes a difference. It's the difference between feeling relatively comfortable but slightly tightened to protect myself from coolness, and the difference between being completely covered and comfortable and yummy, or going for yummy. So when you found a posture where your chest is raised, and it doesn't have to be very high raised. The chest is raised, but not so much that you have tension in your belly or in your middle or your lower back. Your knees are raised. Your feet are resting on the floor, on the mat. Your buttocks are resting. Your head is supported. Your hands, your shoulders are supported. And you're there. I'm just going to take a few minutes to allow the body to sink into this pose. Really sinking into it. Another way you can place your hands is placing them on your belly. The thing is, when you place your hands on your belly, you need to be sure that your elbows are supported. Because if you have your hands on your belly or on your hips and your elbows are hanging in the air, automatically you're going to tighten your shoulders, you're going to tighten your arms, and that's just not the intention. The intention is to be supported, to feel that the body doesn't need to do anything, that gravity is there, that there's enough supports, more than enough support. I want a little extra support for my head here. And see what's happening is after a few minutes, the more obvious tensions have disappeared. And that's when some more subtle underlying tensions can be detected. That's when you start noticing these little areas of tension which weren't very obvious. Might be around the Achilles tendon, the inner thighs, the buttocks, the abdominal muscles, lower back, around the throat, the chest, shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. Maybe you thought your neck was relaxed and all of a sudden you notice, maybe I do need a little extra support. And so gently, in order to come out of this pose, coming out of the pose, transitioning from one pose to the other is really an integral part of this class. It's also about taking your time, about doing things with the least effort possible. So you're bending your knees, placing your feet onto the mat, gently pushing away blankets or pillows, cushions, bolster. The blanket draped over you, you can put aside for a second and just gently rolling on your side. Using your hands, your elbows to gently push yourself up towards sitting. It's about being comfortable. It's about taking even a moment or two to just sit and notice how you're feeling. We're going to move into our second pose, our second asana. And it's going to be hopefully really comfortable. So what you're going to need here, you're going to need some good support for your head. So be sure that you have enough height for the support of your head. Maybe you have one pillow, maybe you have two pillows, one on top of the other, maybe you have one or two blankets on top of the other. What am I going to use? I'm going to use this and this. Enough height. So if you have all these blankets, you're going to need one blanket here about at the height of your shoulder when you're lying down. It might be a blanket, it might be a pillow, but something that has enough length so that your arm can rest on it. And you're going to need, obviously, your blanket, which you're going to place over your body. And you're going to have either a big pillow or a blanket. So what are you going to do here? You first come to lie on your side. So here I'm on my right side, and I'm going to place the blankets or a pillow. Pillow is a lot more comfortable. I have one. I'm going to use it. It's in between both legs, so that from the inside of the thighs to the knee to the inside of my lower legs, everything is supported so that they don't come in contact with one another. I have this blanket here, and when I come to lie down, I place my head, my neck supported. Probably can't see much. And I have this blanket here, which I'm going to place in between both arms. So now I can drape that blanket over my body. And I have one arm here. If you have extra blankets, have a blanket on the floor so that your arm isn't resting on the floor if the floor is cold. And we have maybe a second blanket to have in between both arms. Basically, you're lying on your side, right leg resting in the mat, the right flank resting in the mat. And why was I insisting on sufficient support for your head? Because if my head were lower, there would be tension on the left side of my neck. My head would be too low, and there would be a lot of blood flowing towards it, and that's not that comfortable for a few minutes. And also my shoulder joint would be compressed. I have enough support here. Mm-hmm. I have enough support so that I can slowly allow the weight of my body to lower, to land, to really arrive here. Letting my right leg sink into the mat, letting my right hip, my right flank sink really into the mat. If you have enough support for your head and your neck, then it's much more comfortable to allow your right shoulder and your right arm to sink into the mat. The weight of my neck and my head supported, like really supported. Sufficiently supported so that the back of my neck can relax, so that the left side of my neck can relax. My left arm resting on the pillow or the blanket draped between my right and my left arm. And that allows my left shoulder to relax, my left elbow to relax. blanket between both legs, or the pillow between both legs, supports the weight of my left leg, allowing all the muscles, tendons, connective tissue to relax because the leg is supported. It doesn't have to work. And we're going to be in this pose for a couple of minutes, for a while. So allowing the mind to rest in the body. In restorative yoga, your greatest ally, your greatest friend is gravity. It's gravity that allows you to rest. Your second greatest ally is time. Time which gives you space to have everything slow down. The body which can slow down. The nervous system which is sufficiently supported that it can slow down. Maybe even thoughts slowing down. And we're gonna turn to the other side now, remembering that The whole point of this practice is to take it slowly, to take it easy. So if you're lying on your right side, bring your left hand right in front of your chest or your neck. Use your right elbow, your left hand to gently push yourself up. The blankets or whatever you used to support your arm, bringing that to the other side. And then slowly turning to the other side. Just have everything between your legs comfortable. Things move around when you're moving. Notice for yourself, okay, was there something that wasn't exactly as comfortable as it could have been when I was lying on my right side? Maybe when I turn to my left side, I can make it even more comfortable. An extra blanket, extra height under the head, maybe an extra sweater, pair of socks, so that when you're ready, you can drape your blanket over your body, gently lie down. And when you're lying down, have your left arm, resting on maybe another blanket or a pillow so that it's not cold. Having that blanket in between left arm and right arm so that everything is supported, like everything. Allowing the weight of your body to start resting, to start feeling gravity. Left leg, right leg, left hip, left flank, left side ribs. If you have enough support for your head, letting your left shoulder gently rest in the mat. Allowing your left upper arm, lower arm, your left wrist and your left hand to sink maybe just 1 millimeter deeper. Allowing the weight of your head to rest. Your left arm supporting your right arm. Allowing the shoulder blades and the chest to gently let go of unnecessary tension. Just gently. Letting the abdomen, the right hip, gently let go. Letting the weight of your right leg sink into the pillow or the blankets in between both legs. Even the left ankle, the right ankle, the left foot right foot. Once in a while, a few deeper breaths. Where do you have room for some extra letting go? Where is there space for letting gravity do the work? It's there. Let gravity do the work. Let the pillows, the blankets do the work, the mat. And slowly, in order to come out of this pose, again, really take your time. Use your elbows, your hands to gently push yourself up. You're coming to sit. Taking your time. There's absolutely no hurry. Like, really no hurry at all. So the next pose, while you're sitting here, just feeling your body, the next pose is not only the next pose, but it's also the last one. Yeah. So the last pose, I have this really nice long pillow. If you have a bolster, also good. I'm going to use even 2 of those because I want some height here for the legs. Basically, your legs are going to be here. So you need enough length so that when you lie down on your back, the whole length of your legs is going to be supported from the upper part of your thighs through the back of the knees up to the feet. The whole of your legs need to be supported. And they can be, it doesn't have to be super high, but it's nice to have some height. What else are you going to need here? Okay, so you're going to need two blankets or two beach towels, and I'm gonna put them in a diagonal line. Basically, the intention is that they're in a V so that when I lie down on my back, I can rest the back of my arms on these blankets so that they're supported and comfortable and warm, and that I have enough space here so that this blanket, which is on the floor, can also support my shoulder. And you absolutely need sufficient height for your head. So I have a blanket and a pillow on top of the blanket, and of course, I have the blanket to drape over my body when I lie down. And one other thing that I'm going to use, because why not make it extra comfortable, is I'm going to have an extra blanket here just in case my feet are over. I don't have enough length for my feet. I want my feet to be supported so that the whole body when I'm lying down is totally supported. So if we were in a studio, in a yoga studio, I would start turning off the lights. But if I turn off the lights here, you're not going to see much. So what I'm doing is I'm sitting here. My legs are totally supported here. I'm going to start draping the blankets over my legs. Now, before you lie down, this is the important part here. You have the blankets over your legs, and you're going to scoot yourself in. It's like you're trying to make a mummy. Not a mommy, a mummy. See, then the legs are relaxed and they're supported. You have enough space here. So that when I lie down, I can take the rest of the blanket, drape it over my body. I can bring my arms on the blankets on the floor, and I can rest my arms on the floor, my hands, my wrists. So basically, what we're going for is to have as much of the body as possible be totally wrapped in this blanket, my head totally supported. I don't know if it's visible, but not only my head but my neck are in constant contact with the pillows, the blankets. My feet, they're not tight, but they're supported. My legs are not tight against one another, but they're completely supported. My shoulder blades, the backs of my shoulders are not hanging in the air. There's a thick piece of blanket below, underneath the back of my right shoulder, the back of my left shoulder. The back of my head, my neck, they're all completely supported. And that's what allows the subtle body, the nervous system, that's what allows the nervous system to get the signal, oh, okay, you can let go now. That's what gives the nervous system the signals telling muscles and tendons, okay, you don't need to protect. You don't need to tighten. You're safe here. It's okay. Relax. And starting to let the whole back body gently melt, gently sink. Feet, ankles. The calves, kuitspieren, and backs of the knees. Also the shins, front of the lower legs. Letting the thighs hang downwards. The whole of the pelvis, so the buttocks, hips, tailbone, sinking into the mat. The lower back, also the flanks, the belly. The upper back, the shoulder blades, the backs of the shoulders settling in. The neck, the sides of the neck. Arms, elbows, hands, fingers. Chest, the ribs, pectoral muscles, even the muscles in between each rib. Letting the heart muscle soften and letting the heart soften. The throat, the tongue, the face, even letting the ears sink towards the floor. The body passive, the mind awake, the body passive. Noticing sounds, noticing thoughts coming from the sounds. Noticing all the other senses, smells, physical sensations. Whether the eyes are open or closed, noticing light, the quality of light, the intensity of light, tastes. Taking 3 somewhat fuller, somewhat deeper, somewhat longer breaths. And breathing in through the nostrils. And breathing out through the mouth. Breathing in. And very gently, bringing some movement into the body. Very gentle movement. Toes, fingers, even coming into movement, very slow, very gentle. No hurry. The hands, the feet, Small movements. Arms, the legs, rolling left to right, right to left. Maybe breathing in, stretching out the arms, the legs, the feet, the hands. And bending your knees, just putting that blanket aside, using your feet to push whatever you were using aside so that you can have your feet on the mats. And then bringing your knees towards your chest, just using your hands, your elbows to stabilize your legs and slowly rolling from left to right, from right to left. Slow movements, gentle movements. And then from that movement, rolling onto your right side, using your left hand, your right elbow to slowly push your body up to sitting. And just these last few moments, sitting up on something so that your hips are higher than your knees. Maybe you want to sit with your legs crossed, sit on your knees, having a blanket around you just because it's nicer. It's a little more luxurious, so why not? And sitting here for just a few moments, noticing, just being here. Just taking a few moments to connect or reconnect. How am I feeling right now? Physically, mentally, what's my mood? And then gently bringing both hands, palms of the hands together, placing your hands just in front of your heart, gentle contact. The elbows are relaxed, the shoulders are relaxed. And taking these few moments to thank everybody who practiced together here. I have no idea, maybe there were 3 people, maybe 50 people. But we were not alone. Thanking yourself for taking this hour and 10 minutes. And opening your eyes. Thank you. Have a good evening.